What's up, everybody? My name is Kayla Esparza. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I am a Northern California-based photographer, vlogger, blogger, wifey, Jesus-loving, all-around obnoxious girl. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. You can be notified whenever a new video is uploaded, which is super awesome. So go ahead and click subscribe. Today's video is a little different than any other I've posted. Today's video is going to be how I edit simple portraits. I'm going to try to make this video for someone who's a beginner, someone who has been doing photography for a little bit and knows basic photography concepts that I'll be mentioning. For example, exposure, contrast, you know, when it comes to editing, sharpening, I don't even know some of the names, just because I don't view editing as something that you need to be professionally trained on. I learned just from hands-on, from people telling me things that I shouldn't do, things I should do, practicing, playing with different settings, and also YouTube. YouTube has been one of the biggest assets to learning some of the main photography things I do today. So I think it's awesome if you guys are watching this video and this is kind of what you're doing, is researching and trying to learn different tips and tricks you can do to make your photos even better. So we're just gonna jump into it. I am going to pull up some portraits that I shot today, and we are going to see together how I edit, how I kind of pull my looks together as far as like a collection of photos. Anyways, I don't want to take up more of your time. We're going to hop into this tutorial. It's just going to be a simple, easy beginner's knowledge to Lightroom and how to edit portraits. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome to Lightroom. If you've never been to Lightroom before, basically you're just going to want to import your photos, and this is the image we're going to be editing today. First things first, I want to enable those profile corrections, which essentially, if you're using a 50 like I am here, it just helps to flatten your entire photo and not give it that bubble look. I then want to go over to my presets. I use the VSCO Pack 5. You can buy it on VSCO.com for, I believe, like 50 bucks. And I'm just going through trial and error, testing out different, they're called presets, but they're basically filters. I am looking to see which ones I like the best, and then coming over to the right hand side where we're going to use these tools to kind of change the image to how we want it. I never just apply a preset to my photo and leave it like that. I always go in and I add my own special touch. So for this one, I chose one of the Kodak packs, and then I'm just going to darken the sides of the photo so our model stands out. She is wearing white, so we want her to be the brightest part of the photo with no distractions on the outside, which is why I darkened it. I also really like to airbrush my models just because I feel it gives them kind of like a softer glow, and that is why I'm bringing the clarity down so much and bringing the exposure up even more. Don't be afraid to experiment with the different tools. I definitely do. I never leave an image the same after editing it once. I usually go through and I'll edit a couple through my batch and see what the best filter preset / application is for each photo. To brighten my eyes, I'm just using this little tool on the right. Make sure you invert it so it's actually editing the eye and not the model, and then you can just right click, duplicate however you edit the eyes. I just like to brighten them a little bit. I don't like to go crazy and make them look fake because I'm a very natural light and natural look photographer, so I like to keep my model's eyes to the best of my ability the exact same, just a little brighter. Same with the roses here. They were wilting because I made this crown on Friday and today's Monday, so they sat in the fridge for a little too long, so they were wilting. So I just wanted to brighten them a little bit and make them look not so dry, which you can see in the before and after here. I also like to change the colors that I have, so if you see, you can pull the green all the way to the right, and my leaves are going to be super ugly, vibrant green, so I just like to bring it down into the yellows more to give it more of that fall vibe, if you know what I mean. Also, here's a perfectly great example of how I accidentally messed up my photo. As you can see, I brought this blue hue down and it made her sweater purple, so we can come into the saturation part of the color box over here and just kind of play with it. And as you can see, I figured out that by pulling the blue part down, we're going to get her white sweater back instead of a blue or purple tinted sweater. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just showing you how you can get rid of blemishes. I would probably leave her moles just because I think that is a personal trait of hers that I don't want to get rid of. But just like I said, to show you guys how you can get rid of zits or pimples, we're just going to use that tool that I used. I don't know the actual names, and I apologize for that. But yes. Also, if you want more of a film look, which I like to do, it's mainly the grain change is how I get my photos to look more film-like. So the higher the grain, the blurrier the photo is going to be. So I always like to lower the size but higher the amount. Depending on what you are uploading your photo to, it might be too grainy, for example, Facebook. Now, if you want to have your photos look consecutive, you're just going to edit, copy, and paste your settings, but be careful because in this photo, I brightened her eyes in the last photo, and that's why I'm deleting these little circles, is because that is where we brightened her eyes. So you just have to make sure you don't leave things like that behind if you're copying and pasting. Same goes for the brush tool, like you see these little dots showing up on the crown and on her chest. That is from the previous brush tools we used, but since I don't see any bad lighting in them, I'm just going to leave them how they are and then add new ones like I did to her eyelashes. I just darkened them a little bit. So again, we're just going to remove the moles, show you guys kind of how you can fix those little, I don't want to say airs because they're not airs, but yes. So we can also brighten the side of her face a little bit by brushing that tool on again and then exposing a little bit more light to shine on her face. So again, if we copy and paste onto a new photo, we still get those little dots that we used to brighten her eyes, which since her eyes are not towards the lens, we're just going to delete those. We don't need them. So then we can kind of zoom in, make sure the grain is good, not too much. And then this photo I decided to darken just a little bit because I didn't like how bright it was since there's so much white exposure. We want her skin to now kind of contrast with the white exposure and be just a little bit more darkened, which is why I went for this more kind of darker look. And then that's just, kind of how I get all of my photos to kind of look not the same, but especially if you're having your model in the same spot, you kind of want the photos to look like they flow together and not a bunch of different edits. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I know that it may have seemed a little fast or jumbled, so please, if you have questions, leave them down below. Feel free to send me an email. Also, if you have a request, please leave it in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for more photography tips and tricks and more vlogs. I know I've been slacking hardcore on vlogs, but I promise there will be some coming soon. So please subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Follow me on Instagram. Come say hello. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, see you later. Bye.